What's up, YouTubers? This your boy M. Carter, and I want to talk about a little subject that's kind of been boiling up in me for a while, and it's concerning WWE. I'm a huge WWE fan. I've been watching since the early 80s, and love the direction that they used to be in. I'm still a huge fan, but frustrated by the direction that the WWE has been going for the last few years. I think the writing has got kind of lazy, and a lot of the storylines are repetitive, and it's just basically the same script. Never a legit winner, always the bailout of interfering in championship matches, and kind of repeating storylines over and over again, just with different characters. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about today, which has kind of been boiling up in me for a while, is how WWE ruined Roman Reigns. Yes, how WWE ruined Roman Reigns. And I think it all started back at the 2014 Royal Rumble. This is the Royal Rumble that Batista won. And this is the Royal Rumble also where Roman Reigns came in and eliminated 13 guys. The Shield was still a stable at the time, and so it really wasn't a whole lot of reaction as far as Roman Reigns when it came to booing or cheering him. He was just kind of in the middle of the road, but really an entertaining, fascinating character. I think this was the actual time where they really should have pushed him. I think this is the Royal Rumble that he should have won, instead of the 2015 Royal Rumble, which was the year of Daniel Bryan. And I'll explain that a little bit more later. But I think that he was 1 year too late in winning the Royal Rumble. And the push was for Batista, which actually turned out to have the WWE Universe really start to push Daniel Bryan in 2014, going on into 2015. So let's talk about the 2014 Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns came and eliminated 13 guys. At the end, it was him and Batista. And I think after Batista won that Royal Rumble, he eliminated Roman Reigns. The fans booed because they really wanted to see Roman Reigns win that Royal Rumble. And so what happened was WWE decided that 2015 that they would really push Roman Reigns. And so they started this campaign where they were really pushing Roman Reigns, and in spite of where the WWE Universe started to pull away from Roman Reigns and really started to move pro Daniel Bryan. And I think WWE should have really went full steam ahead with Roman Reigns in 2014. I think WWE has a habit of always trying to push older superstars. And even though Batista was an amazing superstar who really dominated 2010 through 2012, I think 2014 leading into 2015 was really the time that they should have pushed or started to push the younger superstars like Roman Reigns. And I think Batista winning the Royal Rumble was a grave miscalculation by WWE, because I believe that the WWE Universe was ready for the new stars to be pushed forward. And I think with Batista winning the Royal Rumble, it really opened up the door for Daniel Bryan, who really grabbed the pulse of the WWE Universe as this underdog who was beloved and humbled, and had a great catchphrase and slogan. And he really grabbed the pulse of, and I think Daniel Bryan is an outstanding wrestler, really talented, high risk, exciting, and he grabbed the pulse of the WWE Universe, and the door was really opened up for him, and he kicked it down in 2014, which made WWE have to rewrite the storyline leading into WrestleMania. It opened up the door for Daniel Bryan too, and I think WWE actually did this perfectly with the push for Daniel Bryan, because the way they wrote him in the feud with Triple H and then getting him installed into the main event at WrestleMania 30, I think was fantastic. So that was great story writing, but I think it came at the expense of Roman Reigns, who, if they would have pushed him at the 2014 Royal Rumble, that could have been a year of Roman Reigns, and he wouldn't be where he is right now, which I think that he's most majority of WWE Universe really dislike him, especially the older folks of the WWE Universe. More the children, I believe, that are still Roman Reigns fans, but I believe that the pulse of the older crowd of the WWE Universe have really turned against Roman Reigns, and I want to explain why that I believe that the WWE Universe has turned against Roman Reigns. So now we move on to WrestleMania 30, which Daniel Bryan wins the WWE title. He actually fights 2 matches that night. He fights one against Triple H at the beginning of the event, and then he goes on to the main event later that night and defeats Batista and Randy Orton to win the WWE title. And he actually injured himself pretty badly in the Triple H match. It was some type of neural injury. Now, I'm not a medical physician, so I won't get into the specifics of his injury or try to pronounce what actually happened. But he injured himself pretty badly, but he still fulfilled his obligations with the main event, ended up winning the WWE title, and then shortly right after, he had to relinquish the title because of the injury, and then he was out for a long period of time, pretty much the rest of the year, which leads us to the 2015 Royal Rumble. And this is the event that I believe that the WWE Universe turned its back on Roman Reigns completely. This is the Rumble that Roman had won, and I think WWE made the correct decision of having Roman win this Royal Rumble. I think the death knell was how he won it. This is also the Rumble that Daniel Bryan had returned from his injury. He was out 6 or 7 months and had returned this night. He entered number 10 at this Rumble and lasted about 10 minutes or so, and then was eliminated by Bray Wyatt. And the fans was excited for his return. They were hungry for Daniel Bryan, whom they had fell in love with, and I think WWE having him eliminated so early was a mistake. I think this was a grave mistake, even worse mistake than Batista winning the 2014 Royal Rumble, and I'll tell you why. In spite of the fans really taking to Daniel Bryan and really wanting to see him do well at this particular time, him coming off this major injury, I don't believe that Daniel Bryan was physically capable of handling the rigors in the day-to-day of promoting a WrestleMania main event and then going in and fighting Brock Lesnar. I mean, the guy had just came off a 6 months layoff from a serious injury, and to go into promoting the main event at WrestleMania, which requires appearances weekly on both programs at the time, fighting the top guys and the rigors of promoting a main event and then going in and fighting Brock Lesnar. I think Daniel Bryan's body wasn't capable of doing that at the time. And also, even in this Royal Rumble, I don't think Daniel Bryan was going to be booked to spend a lot of time in the Rumble, just coming back in and getting his body back into habit. So I think WWE shouldn't have brought him in at number 10. I think they should have brought him in late, between 25 and 30, and then also allow him to be one of the final 4 in the Royal Rumble, if not the final 2. It should have came down maybe to him and Roman Reigns. I believe that it should have been, the final 4 should have been Daniel Bryan, Rusev, Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns. And maybe you can substitute 1 or 2 with Dean Ambrose, but definitely Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan should have been the final, within the final 4. And I think if Roman Reigns would have won that Royal Rumble, earned it, and it would have been kind of up to suspense, and it wouldn't have been so clear that WWE was pushing him. I think that the WWE Universe would have embraced his win and his push a little bit better. I think at this time when Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, the WWE Universe was really getting sick of the direction that WWE was going, meaning that, the fans wanted somebody pushed, and WWE, in spite of what the fans wanted, was forcing different wrestlers, athletes down our throat, or not really pushing guys that have earned it, or newer guys. They will win a match and then lose a match, or they'll have a build up and they'll have a buzz, and then WWE will cause them to lose matches and kill that buzz. And I think the WWE Universe was starting to rebel against the WWE, and I think this played a role in Roman Reigns being despised by the WWE, because now he represents the disdain that the WWE Universe has for Vince McMahon and his creative team. And I think that with Roman Reigns being so blatantly pushed, now we have to understand, Roman is the top guy, or at least one of the top guys in the business right now. Okay, you got to give the guys props, despite if you like him or if you embrace him or not. The guy's fighting main event matches every night. He's participating in every event. He's fighting the top guys night in and night out. He's main eventing night in and night out. He's making the appearances. He's being part of the ambassador team for the WWE. I mean, the guy is doing what John Cena did for a decade. You know, he's the guy now, despite him not being embraced, despite him not. So you got to kind of give him his respect in that area if you choose to. But I think he has earned everything that he's getting. But I think the WWE Universe has a disdain for the direction that WWE is going. They have a disdain for the writing process. They have a disdain for the repetitiveness. And Roman Reigns represents that because they're pushing him. And in spite of what the WWE Universe wants, they're continually pushing him and saying, we don't care. And by that hatred and that disdain that the WWE Universe has for the management and the writing team, now it falls upon the man that they're clearly pushing, because he represents that. He represents that disdain. He represents that upper echelon, or the higher ups, or however you want to put it. But and I think that's where the WWE fans have a disconnect with him, because they don't see the things that he's earning. They don't see the things that he's doing. They clearly see, hey, you're Vince's guy. We have a disdain for the writing team, and we have a disdain for the direction that WWE is going, and clearly they're pushing in your direction. So our contempt and our disdain for them is now going to fall upon you, because you're the representation of that. And so I think that's where the disconnect happened, and I think that's why the WWE Universe doesn't like Roman Reigns. And I think this is where WWE ruined his momentum. They ruined everything. He should have won the 2014 Royal Rumble. They pushed him to 2015, which was clearly the year of Daniel Bryan. Even though WWE fans wanted Daniel Bryan, he couldn't bear the rigors of going through a main eventing with a Brock Lesnar. As we saw the WrestleMania 31, he went into a match, won the Intercontinental title, and then was injured during that match, which basically ended his career. So we clearly see now that, you know, behind the scenes, Daniel Bryan could not have endured the rigors of being the front guy anymore. His body just broke down and couldn't take it. So Roman Reigns is the guy. He was the correct choice to win the 2015 Royal Rumble. I think that the writing team should have made it better the way he wanted. They should have made it a more appropriate, so that WWE fans could embrace him, so that there's some type of suspense. I got more videos coming, which I really break down WWE, the repetitiveness of the writing, the main events, the Charlotte and Sasha Flair, how they ruined several careers, such as my man Dolph Ziggler. I think Dolph Ziggler, as one period during that feud when he was the lone survivor in the Authority versus the Wrestlers feud, and he won. I think that was their opportunity to push him, and they didn't. He could have been pretty much the next Shawn Michaels. So it's several wrestlers that they had opportunity to push that they failed to push, and then at the end ruined these guys' careers. So now you're stuck with the same guys main eventing. You're stuck with the same guys. You're stuck, and the same thing with New Day. I think that New Day's reign was so long because they just didn't have anybody to come in and replace New Day as champions. Nobody that can really move the crowd or push the needle. And I think that was pretty much WWE's fault, because they didn't capitalize upon momentum. I think that Big Cass and Enzo had a momentum that they could have capitalized upon it. They didn't. I think when the Usos changed over, they could have capitalized upon the Usos buzz. They didn't. And so I think that there's some guys that they just could have capitalized on that they didn't. I think Roman Reigns was that. And the 2014 Royal Rumble, they should have capitalized on Roman Reigns, made him the main eventer, kind of made that his year. But they didn't. And so now it pretty much hurt his career, because in 2015, which was clearly the year of Daniel Bryan, it hurt him. He went in to WrestleMania 31, and that's when Seth Rollins came in and cashed in his money in the bank and won the WWE title, and that became the year of Seth Rollins. And so WWE, which the disdain for Roman Reigns actually helped Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins, had a fantastic year 2015, but once he got injured and he came back, they didn't build upon his momentum. So now he's just pretty much in the middle of the pack. Still a top guy, but pretty much, nobody could really care less if he wins the title or not. So I think WWE fails to capitalize upon a lot of these guys, and I think Roman Reigns is a reflection of the WWE universe's disdain for the WWE's direction, their creative team, their position, and I think that Roman Reigns suffers that disdain. I think the best thing for them to do is just completely turn Roman into a heel. If not a heel, just basically turn him into this destroyer, where he just basically destroys everything, everybody. He doesn't really care about what people think. He can, he really is not a fan favorite. He just destroys anybody that's in his way, or find a way to re-implement the stable of the Shield. I was actually thinking at one time maybe they should combine him with the Usos, maybe his cousins, combine him with the Usos and kind of create a new Shield before they did the brand split. So, maybe turn them dudes into just three mean, beat down everybody, destroy everything in their way, slam everybody through a table, break everybody's heads, crack heads open type guys. That's what I think they should have probably did, a new Shield. Maybe it would have worked, maybe it wouldn't have worked, but just some new creative things. They're real repetitive in the direction and the creative writing, and I'll break that down in some more videos that some more videos that I'm going to put out about the WWE. But I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest about Roman Reigns. Now, whether you agree with me or not, that's fine, but I just think that the guy's earned everything he's gotten, now up until this point, because he has been the guy. He has taken on the burden. He has taken on the responsibility of being the ambassador, being the guy, the main eventer, despite the WWE's disdain for him, or the WWE universe's disdain for him. But I think definitely he has taken on a role that John Cena had for a decade. And I think he's earned a WWE title run. I mean, he had two. They ended fairly short, and so I think he's definitely deserving of a run right now, a long run, because he's carrying the weight of the organization on his back right now. But I think WWE has to start capitalizing on guys' momentum, man, and don't wait. Roman Reigns was a year too late, man, and it hurt him. They picked up on, and basically was forced to pick Daniel Bryan. It was forced because the WWE just basically wouldn't embrace anybody else, and I think that's where it hurt Roman Reigns in the end. It's just that the WWE was sick and say, hey, this is the guy we want. We want Daniel Bryan, and we're not going to accept anybody else. And during the time the WWE said the WWE universe, said we're not going to accept anybody else, they were without any hesitation pushing Roman Reigns, and then it hurt Roman Reigns, and it's hurting him to this day. So I think that he's just got to weather the storm. I think WWE should give him a run at the title, allow him to hold the title for a while. And maybe turn heel, maybe, because it seems like, it's another video I'm gonna put out. It's just, the heels are winning. The baby face, the day of the baby face is over, and that's another video I'm gonna make. The day of the baby face is over, because now we're living in a society where we like bad guys, man. Bad guys finish first, nice guys finish last. And so, yeah, man, subscribe. I'm gonna put out more videos. So this is the first one. I'm gonna put out more videos. I do wrestling, sports entertainment. I do MMA and all type of sports. I'm a avid sports fan. I just love sports, but wrestling is one of my favorites. I've been watching since the early 80s, and I've seen wrestling have its highs. I've seen it have its lows. I think another reason is WWE doesn't have any competition, so they're not forced like when WCW was pushing them to really push their pen in the creative department. I think without any competition, you just really don't have you're not really forced to push your pen in the creative away, and so you get repetitive, you get lazy, you write the same storylines, you just put two different characters in it, and it gets repetitive, it gets boring. I think WWE is pretty much predictable now. We know who's going to win. I mean, you can go on the internet right now and just see people putting out blogs and things like that telling you what's going to happen, and then you go and look at the event and it clearly happens. I mean, it's predictable now, and then that's not even necessarily what you need to do to know what's going to happen. You pretty much can see it from a mile away of what's going to happen, who's going to win. So I think WWE has to mix it up some. They have to bring back the element of surprise. The fans are clearly calling for CM Punk. You got to fix that relationship somehow and bring CM Punk back. You have to mix things up, man. You got to mix things up. You got to push that creative pen. You got to know how to change things on the fly, man. And you got to stop ruining these main events, man. You got to give us clear winners. You got to have a guy pin. I mean, just like now, it's just the day of the coward, man. I mean, nobody's winning. Nobody's winning, nobody's pinning, nobody's beating anybody. You can't tell who's better because every main event they take the cheat way out and have somebody interfere, somebody cheat in order for the guy that they're pushing to keep the title, especially if he's a heel. So I think it's time to really, WWE's creative team needs to reflect and change things up. So that's my video, man. I think that Roman Reigns, the hatred that he receives from the WWE Universe is clearly a reflection of the WWE Universe's disdain for the creative team, the creative direction, and by Roman Reigns being the guy that they're pushing, he's in turn Vince McMahon. He's in turn reflecting the image of Vince McMahon, the creative team, and all the things that we're disappointed with the direction of where WWE and sports entertainment is going. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Subscribe. Once again, it's M Maverick, and I'll be back with some more videos, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.